Welcome back. Welcome. I'm Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. And remember, we are all Bitcoin Maxis. Shout out to everybody that hits that notification bell. I see a lot of you have that notification bell on. More and more people are hitting that button, so I do truly appreciate it. Now, how much Bitcoin is enough? Is 0.1 Bitcoin enough? You know, I make a lot of education content on my channel. However, lately I've been doing the vlogs where I just hit the record button on my walks and I just connect with you all and share my thoughts and talk Bitcoin, right? However, a lot of times in my life, I've always thought when I got to a certain goal, it would make me happy, which it did. It did in the moment. It made me temporarily happy. And so, an example, I had a 428i BMW. I always wanted that car. When I seen it, I was in love with it. I was like, this is a beautiful car, two-door coupe. And I got it. And I was like, now what? Well, it temporarily made me happy because I got the BMW. However, it started having electrical problems. 42,000 miles on the car, started having issues. So then I said, you know what? This isn't worth it. I thought this was going to make me happy, but it didn't. And I think in a way that ties into our goal with even stacking Bitcoin. And I see a lot of comments which made me start thinking and just wanted to get it off my chest today and talk to you all about it. But I see comments where it's like, I've waited 8 years and I'm still waiting to see those rich, wealthy gains that people talk about. And it's crazy. It's like to think that you've been stacking that long and you feel like you're on a hamster wheel, you know? Even though in 8 years, Bitcoin has gone up a significant amount, right? You think that people would be happy at least dollar cost averaging something every day or every week or every month, right? However, 0.1 Bitcoin is going to take a lot longer than everybody realizes. Now, on my other videos, for everybody that's been subscribed since day one, you all know I say if you're going to stop, not financial advice, stop at 0.5 Bitcoin. At least get to a half a Bitcoin. However, you should never stop. And how much is enough? Well, in my opinion, there is no end to how much you should stop stacking Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin is a long-term play. If you have a lot of capital to put into Bitcoin and you want to trade it in a couple years, or if there's a big market pump back to 126,000, well, so be it. However, my thing is that you have to set a realistic expectation for yourself and your current financial situation. And not looking at the price swings and when it goes up and then all of a sudden it just goes back down, like now we're seeing at what, 88,000 that I just seen it, 89 after we were just at 93. And so this is going to happen. People are going to take profits and you have to realize that. But people like that are going to be buying back in. And so the amount that to me is enough is as much as you can possibly get. As much Bitcoin as you could possibly get, and to never stop and to understand that, yes, 0.1 Bitcoin, like I talk about in my other videos, is a good milestone. Yes, 0.2 is a good milestone. Even 0.01 is a good milestone. However, you have to understand that when you get to those milestones, you're not going to be as happy as you thought you might be. And even if you are happy, right, there's going to be people out there that are going to be happy that they hit that milestone, but then they are like, okay, now I got to hit my next milestone, then my next milestone. And what I'm trying to get at in this video is that you have to see Bitcoin as a long-term play, because if you see that point one milestone, right, and you make it, you're going to doubt yourself because you're going to think that it's going to make you happy. It's going to make you happier than you actually might be happy in that moment. All right? So, point one, Bitcoin, is going to take a long time for you to see substantial gains. All right? Even 0.01. However, again, like I talk about in some of my other videos, a lot of people don't even own Bitcoin. So the more you stack, the more you're pushing somebody else further down the line and taking that supply away from the other 8 billion people in the world. If it were evenly distributed, which of course it's not going to be, but you put yourself in a better financial position the more you stack and the more you're just patient about it. And it's crazy. Look at all these liquidations that are going on. Do you understand that if all these liquidations, that those people, if all the people that were trying to short or long the market, right? If they just took that money that they lost and were just using that money to dollar cost average, they would be far better off doing that, right? Nobody can predict the market. Nobody can predict the market. I don't care what people say out there. You cannot predict the market unless you have insider intel that something within the government's going to go on. And that's just my opinion, right? So I want to come on and make my thoughts on this. So I'm going to end my walk, and I hope you all have a good day. I'm Mr. Bitcoin Maxi. Remember, we're all Bitcoin Maxis. Stack sats and stay free, stay humble. I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.